Welcome to Livestream with Dr. Alex A. Plains, where we teach you how to stream your life. Welcome, Jeremy. How you doing tonight?
Good. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Long day at the office.
Oh man, it's not over yet. We got to finish it on a high level, right?
That's right. Excited to have the speaker here
That's
today.
right. We have Willie Micco, entrepreneur himself, on the podcast tonight.
Thank you guys for having me.
Oh, no worries, buddy. Thanks for coming. We appreciate that.
Anytime.
So we're so excited to have you here because we want to see if we share the same obstacles that you're facing right now.
Okay.
So in this new dynamic of 2026, what do you feel is the biggest challenges that us entrepreneurs are facing?
I mean, I think every industry is different. I'm in the restaurant industry, and for the last 18 months, even 24 months, I'm the first thing people slowly start to cut out of their everyday routine.
Okay.
Especially here in Port St. Lucie, Florida, our property taxes are brutal. Homeowners insurance is through the roof, but the average income in this town is still only $55,000.
Okay.
We are a commuter location. People live here, they work down south. I always found that very hard now, and especially learning it now for sure. I'm fighting heavy food costs and
Inflation.
and labor going up every single year.
Yeah.
Let's talk about human capital.
Yes.
Sorry to cut you off there.
Go ahead.
We get brutalized on it too.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
We understand your challenges on that.
Yeah, our human capital cost has risen anywhere from 5 to 7% since COVID, minimally. And then our patient financing has declined due to, low FICO scores,
Yeah.
and patients can't get financing anymore.
Yeah.
So if we feel it too, so we can
Yeah.
definitely correlate. So tell us a little bit what got you into the restaurant industry and what got you into scaling and having multiple locations.
So I actually opened my first business when I was 22 years old.
Okay.
My father helped me. I was a little spoiled.
Okay.
He helped me with the funding.
It's all right.
But he didn't give me the work ethic. He gave me the loan, and I was able to build off of that. My first restaurant was another fast casual chain. I did that about 3.5 years, almost 4, and I sold that right before COVID.
Okay.
Right before it, kind of middle. I moved back home to Port St. Lucie, and then 6 months later, I opened up a different chain. So, I've been in the industry a little while. I kind of worked at a restaurant when I was 18, and it's what I knew. I was supposed to be a nurse. I was supposed to go that route. And then my dad actually looked at me and said, do you want to be a nurse or do you want to do something like I do?
And he's in the restaurant business?
No, he is not. He was just a business owner,
Okay.
entrepreneur.
Okay.
He was involved with the Sky King fireworks locations.
Okay.
He had
exactly.
20 stores around the United States.
Huge responsibility.
Yeah, big responsibility. So, my first job was in food. And, it's not that I loved my industry, but I was good at it.
Okay.
So I didn't mind doing what I was doing to make money. And it worked. I get to be around people. I get to help people. My job's fun. I get to help groom kids, which I do enjoy. Because you just really never know where people are coming from, and how they look at life, and I just like being their coach almost.
Okay.
Because I was the same 18-year-old kid working in a restaurant, and I figured out how to move forward and get the next step. So I enjoy that aspect of it. But yeah, it was my first job.
What kind of qualities do you look for in hiring someone?
I get a lot of younger than older.
Okay.
I definitely like athletes because they're a little bit more
disciplined.
Yeah, more disciplined. That they can move around the kitchen faster.
Okay.
They require scraping the grill, moving things that are kind of heavy and moving fast.
Okay.
Never minded band kids either. Band kids do
You
pretty.
really?
Yeah, man, band kids do pretty good.
I would never think of that.
Yeah, so the bandies do good.
What about the front counter and handling the patients or handling the customers?
The customers.
What do you think about that?
You need an outgoing person.
Yeah.
When I hate saying it this way, but I hire minimum wage people, first time job. It's hard to get that out of them. So you can tell from in the interview if they're going to be a front counter person or if you're going to have them just look at a computer screen and do an order.
Yeah.
So those ones kind of come in, and girls are always a little bit more friendly than the average guy.
Yeah, for sure.
So they come around.
So what is the average length of an employee in your business? Like 6 months, a year, 2 years?
With this concept, I've been very blessed.
Okay.
But I've got to learn too. I'm getting older. I'm still learning every single day. Okay. So, I like to be a boss that I'd want to work for.
Okay.
And that's helped a lot. Averagely right now, My employees stay about 2 years.
Oh, that's
I
really
don't
good.
I don't flip staff very much.
That's awesome.
Length of an employee in your business, like 6 months, a year, 2 years?
With this concept, I've been very blessed.
Okay.
But I've got to learn too. I'm getting older. I'm still learning every single day. Okay. So, I like to be a boss that I'd want to work for.
Okay.
And that's helped a lot. Averagely right now, my employees stay about 2 years.
Oh, that's
I
really good.
I don't flip staff very much.
That's awesome.
All my kids are making $18.50, $19 an hour. And I'm not asking anything extra out of them.
Yes.
Keep it simple and they stay. Make them happy.
Exactly. Do you feel like you've built a model? Like I've been challenged with this, like building a model that's not dependent on me. Do you feel like you've got in there yet, or do you have more?
I mean, I could walk away from my store whenever.
Okay.
I could take a week off if I need to.
Awesome.
I wish I had that freedom.
Yes.
I have 3 kids, a stay-at-home
me too.
wife. It's just I have to work to be profitable.
Gotcha.
So
in order to have those profit margins.
yeah, in order to just make the investment worthwhile.
Exactly. It's also because of the human capital and the inflation, like
Oh,
you
absolutely.
said, of the food.
Absolutely. The last 2 years I've seen nothing but just decline. I do things to push sales, but with raising labor and raising food costs, a little bit less customers, the margins are gone.
Exactly.
And the thing I hate the most is the third-party platforms.
Yes,
I can't
I
stand the Uber Eats. I can't stand the DoorDash.
Really?
It's brutal.
They eat up a lot of the fees, right?
Well, it's 25% if they're
No
if they're
way.
Dash Pass or Uber One.
What?
25% goes to them.
So all that money that I'm spending on Uber and DoorDash is not
we
going
don't
to the
get all of
restaurant.
it. We could
Really?
upmark our prices a little bit, but to
Okay.
be aggressive and to get a lion's share of the market, you're offering a discount anyways.
Wow.
So you're marking up to just give it right back.
I would have never
Percentage of
thought that.
What percentage of your business is Uber?
I'd say about 40%.
Holy smokes!
And it's amazing because during COVID, you had way more people actually come in and get their food than they did during the
Than
delivery.
now.
Yeah, I think they wanted something to do to get out the house.
Okay,
So
yes.
everyone came in with their face masks on.
Yeah,
They'd get their food, they'd go, and that was like the highlight of their day.
of course.
But then when they tried to get us back to normal, people got lazy, so they order all day long on those.
Man,
Wow.
that's insane calculations. I'm just doing them in my head.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
$1 million business, 400,000 of it is Uber, and then they take 25% of that.
Yeah.
Like what the heck?
And it's all credit card.
And then you're getting hit with that
all
too.
credit card.
Wow. And who pays you? Does Uber pay you directly, or
Correct.
Okay.
So they can do ACH or you can get a check.
Oh wow.
Wow.
And how do you track it? How do you invoice it?
They give you emails.
Okay.
So like today was Monday, I got my email receipt, basically what I'm going to get paid on Friday.
Okay.
So every Friday they pay out. Uber pays out Tuesdays, DoorDash pays out
Perfect.
Fridays.
And how do you control your employees from not embezzling? Like for us in dentistry, like we have a lot of reports that we can follow and reconciliation at the end of the day.
Okay.
But how do you avoid that being a business owner? Because I'm sure you're not going to be looking at the camera
Being
all day.
more theft.
Yeah.
Okay. Theft for their personal gain or via helping out friends at the register.
Both.
Both.
Yes.
So they can't give a discount unless they have a manager pin.
Okay.
As soon as they go to you have to go to the manager tab to give a discount, and they can't access it without my pin. If I'm not clocked in, they can't get
Okay.
it. If they have my pin, I'm clocked in, they can do it.
Okay.
So that helps out there. That and I try to be a boss and hire people that employees wouldn't want to steal from, right?
Of course.
So it's like if I give you your personal ground, I'd like to think you give me my
Exactly.
personal ground. So I could tell if an employee is being ungrateful or doing things they shouldn't be, and they just don't stay with my team.
You get 'em
I get rid of them.
What
And
are-
then we have those employees that are, hey, this person I don't think he's being faithful here. So it's kind of
how
like
many
a
team
family
members
thing.
do you normally have on shift? Like 2 or 3 I've seen
We
in
work
your
about
stores?
3
Yeah.
most of the time. Sometimes we do 2 on certain days, just depending. Like my US 1 location, it was just me and the manager today until about 5. We bring on an extra body at night. My Gallon location, a little heavier volume on Friday, Saturday, so they'll have a 4th.
So I'm going to go into a little of an off question, but would it be beneficial for you, instead of using like a third party like Uber or DoorDash, for you to have your personal delivery, or is not worth it?
I just think I'd have to carry too many people.
Too much liability?
Yeah, it's just way more labor for the reward.
Gotcha.
No,
that makes
I think it
perfect
comes with
sense.
insurances, and then I'm a nice person. I'd feel obligated to fill their gas tank, or
Exactly.
maybe even supply a company car.
Yep.
And during that lunch rush, if you're getting 50
Yeah,
customers,
that doesn't work out.
yeah, I'd have to have a whole bunch of
Yes,
people. I think
no,
that's
no,
why
makes
even
sense.
pizza shops aren't doing it anymore.
I
You know,
remember
they
when I
have-
used to call
they have Bite.
Domino's
Yeah,
or Pizza Hut, and they used to deliver us the pizza. I remember those good old days. So important. And what makes you pick a specific site? Like, do you do demographic analysis, or do you just go by a plaza and you're like, I like that plaza?
So when it came to building Gatlin, I knew I wanted to build in Port St. Lucie.
Okay.
It was a brand new building. They don't charge the common area maintenance fee.
Oh,
During the
wow,
time,
that's really good.
it was for what was available. I was okay with paying it. I did slowly learn that they just like to hike it every year, and it's tough. They don't feel for anybody.
No, they
You
don't.
know, every April, it's, hey, here's your 7% increase. Some tenants in my plaza, they get a mark 10.
Wow.
I tried to lock it in at 7. It's supposed to be from 3 to 7. They've never done 3.
Okay.
But I like the location because Gatlin is
It's booming. So much
booming.
traffic.
There's so much there now, and even the other plazas they built around us. That's where the people are at right now.
Yeah.
So I like that area. It would have been nice to be in tradition, but during the time of 2022,
There was no buildings.
everything was taken.
Yep.
So I don't want
remember.
to say it was a forced hand play here,
Yeah.
but to get anything that looks and it's got great visibility
Exactly.
and on a busy road, that was
And
what
you're right
that
in
was
the
what I
middle.
had. Right in the
Yeah,
middle,
yes.
smack dab in the middle.
Yeah.
You're not really too far away.
No, it's I think a mile and a half max.
Yeah, we go have lunch there all the time when
appreciate
we're in the
that.
tradition office. I didn't know you owned it, but now we're gonna go more.
Great to meet you.
Likewise, likewise. How often do you visit the stores?
So I'd love to visit my Gatlin location a lot more. I
Okay.
do use my cameras heavy there. I try to go there about once a week. I would
Okay.
love to be able to work it, but when I had grown to my second restaurant, I learned a lot about that area. I liked being in between Prima Vista and Crosstown, 2 east-west major corridors.
Yep.
It's just my whirlpool of customer is 55 and up,
Okay.
and I did not really understand that when I first went there. There's traffic on US 1 all day long, all day
Always.
long. Always. The racetrack's across the street. I chose that specific location because of the post office.
Right
There's a
there.
small little commuter post office. You don't have to go to the big one where people are waiting all
Yeah.
day. And it was bringing people. I just learned that at night when work was done, that side of town was done.
It was done at that time.
It's done.
Do you see that shifting in time?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd hate to say they got to get rid of the 55 and up, but those customers are the ones that have taken this beating the hardest.
Yeah, for
You know.
sure. Especially with the fluctuations
fixed
with the
income.
stock market.
Listen, they're reliable.
Fixed
Yeah,
income.
the 401k.
They're reliable.
Yeah.
You know, they're not gonna, once they find something they like, I'm almost there, so once they find something that we like, you know, we stick with it. We're gonna go there all the time. You're gonna see me 3 or 4 times a day or a week.
Exactly.
You know, it's just kinda,
They do stay loyal, and they have great loyalty. Especially, you know, I got Savannah Club and Spanish Lakes. They don't have to travel far to come to my restaurant. It's just, you know, they're on very strict income, and where I'd love to get them once a week, I might only see them once a month. It's the last week of the month, and the first week of the month is the most
It's
busy.
super important. So, what made you decide to go from 1 to 2 locations, and do you have goals of going more locations?
It's because I had to. I came from 2 locations,
Okay.
so I did that initial step one time already,
Okay.
and I wanted to get back to where I was at before.
Okay.
This time, I didn't have to borrow any money, so
Okay.
I was in a rush to build 2 locations, just so I didn't feel like I was losing potential in myself.
Okay.
I would love to build a 3rd location. I just don't trust this economy right now.
Yeah.
I need to see some change. I need to see higher volume. I need to see. I don't think it's just, you know, I think it's just a Florida thing.
For right now.
For right now, I mean, you know, they started sending all the people away. That was a big aspect of my customer base.
Okay.
Go on Realtor or Zillow and look at all the houses for sale. People are moving out of Port St. Lucie.
Where do you think they're going?
I think they're going north.
North, right?
North. I mean, I lived in Sebastian for a little bit, and that's to even say they're going to be still living in Florida.
Okay.
It's just our customers are selling and getting out. We thrived during COVID. It was
Yeah.
great. You were able to live life still. There was no, I don't want to say restrictions on anything you could do. We did well there. But then as soon as it ended, labor wants to go up $1 every year.
Yep.
All the people that got their free roofs through insurance are now the reason why we're paying so much for it.
Exactly.
And like, look, it's $2,000 for a 2-2 to rent.
I know it's gone up. My best years, it's funny you say that, it were from 2020 to 2022.
That was me.
And I tell Jeremy that all the time. And not only you, but all my friends, even friends in Nevada, New York, New Jersey, you know, the last, 2020 to 2023 were their best years.
Yeah.
Everyone was crushing it. And now it's like, it's very hard to be an entrepreneur now.
2023 was the last okay year
Yes.
I had. I opened up my Gatlin location and I was like, oh, sunshine and rainbows. I picked up right where I left off. I was
Exactly.
happy. I built my next store a year later. Took me 1 year to get another one. I had 6 months in, 6 months build out. I had 2. My grand opening was not what I expected.
What it was before.
No, it was not. I had 2 months of business and then a big drop off.
Gotcha.
But I noticed that at my first location too, off of Gatlin, it all changed over there.
Do you see things shifting that they will get better, or do you think that this is going to be like the new norm?
You know, I've been waiting for the last 12 months for things to get better. It's just my industry. I just keep seeing blow after blow after blow. Look at the gas
restaurants.
prices. Look at the gas prices now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, even the, well, yes, but I mean, I'll go back to, there's a lot of restaurant chains that are closing locations.
Yeah, Pizza
You know,
Hut.
last 4 years.
Pizza Hut has closed a bunch. So you were smart enough to realize, hey, I don't want to scale anymore. This is it. So what metrics do you look at in order to identify, like, this is the time to just pause growth and not grow, or say, hey, I'm ready to grow again?
I'm going based off of my sales and my bottom line.
Okay.
I've seen no change. You know, they started war, gas inflated. I'm paying $10 more for my cases of steak. I'm paying, $5 more for my oil barrels. That's what I go through the most. Right now, chicken wings aren't bad.
Okay.
They're okay. They're affordable. But, come September, I got to go up another $1. I haven't raised my prices in 2 years,
Wow.
and I'm scared to because we're barely getting it now. I don't know what it'll be like if I have to raise now.
Yeah, we literally started adding a merchant fee
Yeah.
of 3%, and we had some patients that went,
Crazy.
Backlash.
yeah, they went
Backlash.
crazy on us.
The majority of the people
Yeah.
were like, it's understandable because that wasn't even profit going into our pocket.
Yeah, no,
That
that's
was
just to pay merchant fees.
Just pay the fees.
Visa and
Yeah.
MasterCard that were
But
charging us.
and I haven't raised my fees since 2021, and my $79 new patient special, I haven't changed it since 2015.
Oh, wow.
So we're talking about almost 11 years, and I haven't raised it 1 penny
Yeah.
since 2015.
Wow.
So it's like you said, it's very, very competitive. But materials have gone up, lab costs have gone up, human capital has
It's all
gone
gone up.
rent has gone up, marketing has gone up.
Yeah.
So I can bear with you, brother. It's very, very hard.
It's challenging, and it's disheartening too, because I got 3 kids, stay-at-home wife.
Of course.
Still want to be able to provide for them.
Of
I don't
course.
want their life to change.
Exactly.
It's in my industry, they always tell you growing up, oh, put the hard work in, put the hard work in. One day, you can have more freedom and the shops will run themselves. I've never seen that way of life.
You sound just like me.
Yeah, just see it. And, you don't want to see people fail either. You
Yeah,
know?
of course.
Like, I'm not against the competition. I like when competition comes around because now you're a hot corner.
Of course.
My US 1 location, they're about to build a brand new strip center across the street. I cannot wait for them to break ground. All those construction people are going to be in my area.
Yep.
And then once something new is on that side of town, it's not going to be, oh, let's get out of our house and go to Gents anymore. It's let's go to that section over there in front of the
Exactly.
racetrack because now there's some options.
Exactly.
So competition to me brings people in the area. So I never minded it. It's
You got
just
the
what's going to
soccer
make it.
Of
You got the
course.
soccer stadium coming too.
I'm excited for that. I just hope they do a little bit more with that stadium rather than just have soccer games. Like,
Yeah.
concerts would be great. I mean,
they're
Yeah,
any
they're going to have a
anything.
lot of events.
A lot of events.
A lot of events, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very cool. So yeah, I mean, like, you're a really smart businessman. You understand the challenges that we're going through. So what would you tell somebody that wants to mimic your path, and what are the first steps that they need to look into?
If you wanted to mimic my path, build smartly. Don't rush. Like with
Okay.
my second location, I didn't take enough time to really look around. I was in a hurry. I don't dislike my location, but I probably would have looked a little bit further away
More research.
just to see what else was truly there. I wanted to be close by. My prior concept that I was an hour away from each other, and man, it was tough.
It is brutal.
It was hard.
Yeah, it's
and
brutal.
to get people during that time to stay committed in my industry,
Exactly.
it wasn't happening. Like
No,
I
it's-
said, minimum wage employee,
Yeah.
kid out of high school. I'm a stepping stone job. So I would, your location is the biggest thing. But also, I've learned a lot about landlords.
Yes.
And find out, like, really get to know your landlord, talk to the other tenants in the plaza, and, hey, how do you feel treated fairly here?
Fairly, that's a good point.
And I didn't get that opportunity to do that with my first location, and sometimes I hate that I'm stuck with that with that family. My second location's great. People are awesome, very fairly priced. My rent doesn't go up in every 3-year intervals,
Yeah,
and it doesn't go up much.
that's great.
Um,
Did they give you any TI money, tenant improvement money?
40,000,
Okay, good.
and I'm grateful for that
Yes.
because in 2023 it was expensive to build
It's
location.
very expensive.
You don't have to buy everything brand new.
Nope.
I bought everything sticker price, and now I'm stuck holding all this equipment that just ages.
Yep.
And when you're going through harder, slower times right now, you're not paying any of that stuff off, and everything's prone to break.
Exactly.
So I would definitely, look on Facebook Marketplace, look at used equipment. You don't have to buy it brand new.
And what about selecting the right franchise to partner with?
I think that's always going to be a mystery.
Okay.
Find one that's going to do a lot of marketing for you. With Charlie's, they don't do much marketing for us.
You're in charge.
They tell you to spend 1%. I spend well over 1%. But find one that is good at brand recognition.
Okay.
That really does a good job, sharing their brand and doing some marketing. Anyone can grassroots. I can hand out coupons. You can always do that by yourself. But find a company that truly wants to help you be successful.
What does do they do a lot of TV? Do they do?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask the same thing.
They do no television marketing. All their marketing goes on DoorDash platform. But right now we're running buy one get one chicken California on DoorDash and Uber Eats.
That's actually a great sub.
They're covering 20% of the free second sandwich,
Okay.
which is the most they've done for us in a while. This past summer they were handing us little pamphlet cards to just put in bags for to go. Their marketing department is really sad.
Where are they based out of?
They're based out of Columbus, Ohio.
Okay. That's where they started?
That's where they started, right at Ohio State University campus.
Good. There was a
That's
point
really
in my life when I was like 19 or 20 years old. I went to see Miami play the Seminoles.
Yeah,
And that was the first time I ever went to a Firehouse sub.
really.
And I was like, man, we got to open one of these in Miami.
Yeah.
And we researched it. Back then it was like $30,000 to start off, but you need liquidity. So how would you recommend somebody that really wants to chase the dream but don't have enough liquidity in order to be able to do it? Like you were blessed, you had a father that supported you. But let's say somebody wanted to start off, what do you think will be the ABC route?
Find a group of investors.
Okay.
Anyone that's in this chain. Some of these guys, they own multiple concepts.
Okay.
I do believe in sweat equity. I
Yep.
have a couple employees. If they wanted to branch off and say, hey, I would like to, do this concept, I really have an interest to it, I would have no problem saying, let's do it together.
Of course.
I've never had a partner. I've done everything by myself. I was helped with funds, but I wasn't helped with building a staff,
No.
establishing myself,
All the permits and everything?
everything. You have to learn it all.
Exactly.
My dad helped a little bit with the construction process,
Yeah.
but he didn't tell me how to train people.
No. That
he
you learn.
He doesn't
on
chop
the
a
job
cheese
training.
steak. Oh yeah. So, I'd say, but the tough thing is finding those people,
Exactly.
right? I mean, you can finance, but you need so much anymore to get anything.
Have you ever been taken advantage of by anyone like a GC or, a landlord or a banker?
I feel like I'm getting taken advantage of by my one landlord.
Okay.
It happens. They don't want to claim responsibility for
Exactly.
anything. But it is what it is. I signed that lease. So
Yep. You're responsible
stuck
for it
there.
at the end of the day.
Building my prior concept, they had recommended general contractors.
Okay.
But if you said they did it the wrong way, they just complained to corporate anyways.
And they didn't care.
They got their way.
And which banks do you recommend somebody to go to? Is there any preferred banks that you like to work with?
So I used to bank with Wells Fargo for everything.
Okay.
And I recently switched over to PNC just because there's a PNC right in
Right
front of
by.
my Gatlin store. And they're honestly way better business friendly. They don't charge me for coin. I have to go get ones, coins, quarters. They don't charge me. Wells Fargo used to charge for that. They both have night drops. They have a drive-through. I got rid of Wells Fargo because they got rid of the drive-through on US 1.
Okay.
So I don't know if you go over there much, but I had to do night drop only. But they probably took about $95 a month from both locations. Where
Okay.
PNC, I owed nothing.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think the
Yes.
bank, like, we don't think about it, but like, for example, for us, like, our offices are open from 7 to 5, 8 to 5, or 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And having a bank that's open till 7 o'clock at night really helps us. So we're banking with a local credit union, and it's so great because even on Saturdays we can go to the bank. We're so busy.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't have time to.
So
be
that's
able
what I
to
do like
so.
about PNC. They're open on Saturdays. Will tell you, I also made the call because they're open till 6. They stopped doing that. So
They cut it out.
don't get that benefit anymore, but they're not charging my business to bank with them.
Exactly.
And I'm
It's super
thankful for
important.
that. But the open Saturdays is huge. Wells Fargo was what I was growing up on. I did all my personal banking there, and then I realized after 2 years they're not the best business friendly bank.
They're corporate. They're
Yeah.
big banks. Big banks. So what would you tell yourself if you can change anything, let's say 5, 10 years ago, what would you change about your path? Or would you just leave it as is and you think that all these experiences were important to build the character you have now?
I don't think I'd change my path just because, everything's been like this before. There was
Okay.
businesses like me and you probably struggling
Yeah.
before COVID. And
Yeah.
COVID was like a false hope or dream that really changed a lot of people's lives. I love what I do. I'm good at it. If I were to do anything else, it would be some kind of trade, whether it be electrician, plumbing, HVAC. I wish I was a little bit more hands-friendly with that.
Yep. Because that way you don't have to outsource everything.
Outsourcing everything, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
we
gets
watch
you.
a lot of YouTube videos over
Yeah.
here. And,
It gets
they
you.
only get you so far
Yes.
sometimes.
Yeah, everyone's like, I want to become, a professional, an attorney, a doctor, and I'm like, why?
Yeah.
There's so many great trades, like an electrician, like you
Oh,
say,
yeah.
a plumber, a roofing contractor. Like
Oh,
those
yeah.
guys are crushing it
Absolutely.
because
And
nobody's
they're
going
not
to
feeling
school for
this
them.
right now.
Exactly,
They're busy. People are remodeling. We got a bunch of old houses here. We're
Yes.
also building all these communities, and they're bringing in people.
They're crushing it.
They're killing it.
Yep,
They feel none of this.
so important. So Jeremy has some experience in the restaurant industry.
Yeah, my wife and I had a restaurant for 3 or 4 years that we ran, and I understand your pain
Yeah.
because it is extremely difficult to manage that. And you're the last one that gets paid,
Yes.
and people don't believe. Oh, you own a restaurant? How awesome is that? Like, it's not awesome at all.
Long hours and hard work.
So I understand completely.
What kind of food were you guys selling?
We did a breakfast, lunch, and we did all you can eat fish on Friday nights. So
Okay.
it was a mom and pop shop.
Yeah.
Homemade meals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, it was pretty cool.
There is one thing I would say that I dislike in my industry, in the business of choice, is I just can't stand people looking at chains and thinking that they're all corporate entity. I wish people would change their outlook when they see a chain built, because a lot of people don't understand that
There's a face behind it.
there's a guy like
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
that's supporting a wife and 3 kids.
Yep.
We're not corporate owned. I work every single day. If you care to come in, I can introduce myself and I probably make your day. Give you a couple bucks off, send you the coupon, and
Yeah.
I hope you understand who you're supporting.
Well, that's true because a lot of people are like, when I go into a city, I'm notorious for this. Like, if I go to a city I've never been to, I want to eat some local restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be, in that city, and that's right. You're absolutely right on that.
So what is the process to, like, I attempted to own at one point a Chick-fil-A. What is so strict about owning a Chick-fil-A? Why are they so careful on who they allow to purchase it?
They allow you to grow from within.
Okay.
So my cousin actually tried to do Chick-fil-A,
Okay.
but she never worked for them. It's a 3-step process. It's $10,000 application fee,
Okay.
experience within a Chick-fil-A, and then you just got to be the diamond in the rough, man.
Wow.
They max out what you can make.
Oh, really?
They build the location, so they technically own the location.
Okay.
That's really all I know about them, but I don't think they allow
So
their
it's not like
franchisees
the
No.
volume doesn't compensate for the income,
for what
right?
their work
Yes,
ethic
gotcha.
is. But I tell you, I am so jealous because they're guaranteed Sundays off.
Yes.
Guaranteed, no problems, no phone calls.
So you're working 7 days a week sometimes, huh?
6 days there. Me,
Wow.
7? Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes.
Amazing.
Kid calls out, I'm
You're
stuck.
there.
Yeah, I'm there.
You're there in the shop. So where can we find out more about you? How can we see you? Where are you normally? Your stores at? So our
So I'm at the
listeners-
US 1 location
Okay.
more
most
than
of the
I'd like
time.
to be.
Okay.
I would like to be in and out of both. Just right now, it's been tough there.
All right.
I'm there 1 or 2 nights out the week, usually earlier in the week.
Okay.
But typically, you'll find me there from open till about 5 o'clock.
You guys
All
have Facebook or Instagram?
So we do have Facebook. We all have to go off of a Charlie's Instagram. We're not allowed to use their trademark for our own location.
So how do
It's
we
probably a
follow
good
you?
thing.
How do we follow you?
I'm not big on the Instagram and Facebook stuff. I really am not. Just if you want to get to know me more, you got to come in the restaurant.
Awesome. I like that.
I talk to everybody.
Any promos for people that listen to this?
Yeah, if you come on in, say you met Willie, I'll give you a coupon card.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Willie, for being a part of the show.
Thank you for having me. I really
you.
appreciate it.
Guys, check this guy
You too.
out.